What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to be Hero X, this time with episode 6. Really good episode last time out with Isol, I think the name of the hero is. Not actually Isol just yet, I don't think. I think he might be taken over for him in the upcoming episodes, but yeah, really enjoyed his kind of hero awakening of sorts last week. Especially the end of the episode was really powerful, but yeah, it was another really good episode. I think for the most part, I think well, 4 out of 5 of the episodes have really hit so far, so hopefully it does continue that way. Do let me know what you guys think about this one though down in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. You feel bad because you went viral. Naturally as well. Damn. Like 5 figures. I think that said like 10,000 there, right? Very impressive. I mean, obviously, it's very impressive that he went like super. Well, what he done was like the most impressive thing, but it's impressive that he's gained that many fans so quickly, naturally. I do imagine from what we're seeing from this universe and what I just expect that there's a lot of kind of manufactured situations like this. Like there's situations to be manufactured for an introduction like this to seem so heroic and down to earth and normal guy like. But this was actually natural. So, judging by this opening, is the next hero we're going to be focusing on that little dog? I'd quite enjoy that. I'm quite a fan of we didn't see much of him, but Dogman in One Punch Man. I thought he was quite cool. Little statue Dogman. Peace and love. 2 E-Souls. Hmm. So it's not a case of him perhaps taking over, more so there being multiple of E-Soul. That was the thing with like acting and stuff like this. I think your true kind of personality always kind of shines through. So yeah, I wouldn't call her out for her guessing that was him underneath there. Still talking to this guy? This guy hired those thugs from last episode. Well, that is a pretty cool haircut, actually. What was that voice? I mean, I don't mean like why do they all have why are their hair all suddenly turned to black people's hair? Like it's not just like their hair going like up. Like the style of it literally changes to quite a nappy style. Okay. Well, it's a shame these people weren't so interested in us before we got popular. So I did see a bunch of people's reaction to this guy last week, and people really hated him. Kind of understandably. I mean, he really is. He always just pops up at the worst times. Doesn't seem like an awful guy though. But yeah, makes sense to copyright his outfit. I can also understand that. Like, if people, yeah, if I'm as good as I usually am, if I am the true people will see that I am the true soul. Makes sense, doesn't it? I think I can see where this is going in that regard, though. So it might end up being some kind of like battle between these two, perhaps. You wouldn't want to really be known as like a knockoff hero, would you? Perhaps this is all actually just like a false sense of security in a way. I could maybe see by the end of this our main character here, this knockoff Esol actually just like dies or something, and the Esol we see at the end of the last arc is actually the old Esol rather than what we expect to be this new one, perhaps. This does happen every so often as well. Sometimes the knockoff is better than the actual thing. You get that quite a lot in horror, actually. Got a lot of horror. Like Friday the 13th is a massive horror series. Yeah, that's just like a knockoff. It started with just like it was just a cheap knockoff initially of other slashers. Yeah, that ended up actually being one of the biggest horror franchises ever. Like everybody knows Jason Voorhees, and like I said, well, it started off not Jason Voorhees. If anyone's actually watched the initial movie, which really isn't very good. um, but yeah, after the second one, when yeah, everybody knows Jason. Limited edition. Honestly, what they should be doing from the hero's perspective here, like the actual ESOL, is I think their team should try and incorporate and maybe buy off this fake ESOL, or like use them as like a double in a way. I think that would be a lot smarter for business for these guys. And they maybe should have acted upon what I just said there sooner, because now he's actually got some like a lot of traction. He seems to have got 500,000 fans, and it's now much harder to actually strike a deal with him than it would have been before. It'd be surprising. Well, you should have got off. Okay, got the sell. So there's still time for that concert, it looks like. That's good. I thought it was a kind of thing that already kind of passed. Why did this guy have most access to the money? I guess he's like managing things, I guess. I also kind of feel like this girl is almost like way too nice, to the point where something terrible is going to happen to her. I hope it doesn't, but she's just one of those characters. You know what I'm saying? She holds too much prestige in knockoff ESOL's mind. So I think exposed. So now, okay, so I see what they've done. So yeah, it's kind of what I said earlier about the whole manufactured situation. They're actually, which would be really easy to do. I mean, again, I would imagine most heroes do have some kind of manufactured introduction and such in this universe. Again, I haven't seen the previous anime and such, but that's just like a very simple and safe and easy way to introduce a hero, and a popular way at that, considering the reaction that this new game we call them knockoff ESOL has been getting, because I can't remember the Chinese name. Apologies. Yeah, that looks like instead of actually approaching this knockoff ESOL to maybe take over or work with the current ESOL, they're actually yeah, just gone out and trying to slander him and try to expose him. Okay. Again, quite a simple thing to do, I think. Actually, like all you have to do is like give these two crooks a bit of money, tell them to say this, and like, I mean, there's no way you can disprove what. There's no way you can prove what they say. It's true that they kind of work together on this, but there's no way you can disprove it either. So it's, yeah, it is all just like you got to take people's words as fact in this here. So this is a shame, isn't it? Like I said, I feel like people would maybe half like have in the back of their mind that this was set up anyway. So now this just like confirms it. Oh, so that was set up. I'm not gonna support him anymore. This just reminds me of those stupid fucking GoFundMe pages that have been set up recently. I mean, he's got a good point here, to be honest. She, what she says here will not hold up whatsoever. So there must be some kind of like copyright infringement or something going on here. You would expect these people to be smart enough to copyright and protect the image of Esol. Ah, okay. Another guy. Oh my god, it's this dude. The Exposer. Of course he'd be here. So I think someone did tell me, thank you, in the comments last week, that this is like it's going backwards in terms of the timeline of this series. He's a bit of a hero in this story. He is in a bit of a grey zone business, isn't he? The Exposer guy. Like, I think in terms of what he does in general, I think could be sort of mostly should be considered as good, exposing the truth. Sometimes it's better people don't know the truth, so. And sometimes he was wrong, as we saw in the last arc. Bro, you need to secure this girl. Bro needs to lock her down before he regrets it, I think. And there's that statue. Again, it's a shame because even though he was found not guilty, even just the accusations still damaging. But looks like we came to a good outcome here. Like I said, hopefully he can secure the girl this episode. It's been a couple episodes of getting interrupted and worrying about this dude. Yeah. I also kind of see something bad happen to him. It's bad vibes. Exactly. He needs to be acting quick, bro. I'm surprised he's not got the confidence to do so, considering all that's happened to him recently. When you go through stuff like this, it usually feels like you're a bit invincible, so you take risks and do stuff you wouldn't normally do. And then when those don't work out, you go back to being your normal self. But yeah. Oh, so I was right to him again. Why would he aim for the head? Okay, yeah, I guess I was right to have bad vibes. I say why would he aim for the head? Obviously, that's where you'd most likely want. Me being a horror fan, zombies and so on, that's where you'd most want to aim. But I would question why you'd aim for the head when you see that this guy's got a helmet on that could potentially stop a bullet. I mean, obviously hasn't, as we see in the end scene here. But why would you even take that chance? His chest is like bare, so I'd just shoot him in the heart, right? But yeah, this is that same guy, that same criminal. Again, seems I was right to feel something bad was going to happen to this guy. Again, he wasn't awful. I unfortunately think a lot of people will actually be quite happy about this, which is a big shame actually, because he wasn't a bad guy. He just kept popping up in the wrong moments. And he was purely sent here just to kill him. Send a message, I guess. This is what awaits you. You keep this up, you lose everyone, everything. Interesting. Oh, again, that doesn't bode well for my bad thoughts of what's going to happen to the woman either. Does it? Perhaps he's again just theorizing at the end of last season. Perhaps he's lost everyone. God forbid the woman and especially the kids end up perishing. I think he might maybe be driven to what we saw him do at the end of last season. Again, perhaps that's not even him. Who knows? Definitely a bit of a slower episode today, focusing quite a bit more on the kind of character and maybe less so character, but the kind of situation that he now finds himself in. Just kind of fleshing out a bit. So it's still good. Obviously, there wasn't too much action or anything. which is the massive draw of this series. The story is really good as well, so it's like, don't mind having an episode like this either, just like setting a lot of things up, defining the situation we're in. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. As I said, good episode today. Good episode. Again, it's funny because again, my least favorite episode, I think it was episode 3. That still had action in. That was there was a bit of a separate story, I guess, on a different hero. I think that's why I didn't quite like it as much. A hero I didn't connect as much with. It. The best part of that episode was like the ending 5 minutes, where it was quite comedic. But I like having a more kind of focused kind of thing like this, where it's still like, yes, there's less action, but it is still focused on his situation, and yeah, just like again defining things a bit more, seeing his kind of growth and popularity, and again more so a kind of like a bit of a setup in terms of like, especially this end sequence here. This was I think a lot is going to change after this, and hopefully this should give him the cojones to to step up and speak to this girl, or maybe it might even actually want him to send her away. As I said, maybe it's like a message of, well, she'll be next, or the kid will be next, or you'll be losing everybody close to you if you keep this up, and so on and so forth. So maybe that might actually have the opposite effect and make him want to send her away, a little bit like what we saw last season with the teleportation girl. But yeah, good episode. Like I said, kind of feels like the upstarting of a new kind of hero story. Had a little trial here at the end, which was cool. But yeah, good episode. Let me know what you guys thought about this one down in the comments. Again, obviously not quite as action heavy as previously, but again, still enjoyed it. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. And I'll see you guys next week with episode 7.